What's up, everybody? How you doing? Welcome back to another episode of Deep Cuts. I typically try to do 4 or 5 records per week. I just didn't have the time when I was traveling this week, but I do have 3 records that I'm going to talk about today. I'm also going to show you 2 additional ones that I'm not going to review them. One, you'll see why. One is something I just got in the mail today, and it's going to be on a future episode of Deep Cuts. And then one is because it's on my label. What's up, guys? So we just partnered up with Dead and Buried Inc. out of LA. So if you have a band or a small business, maybe an event coming up, and you need merch, hit these dudes up. There's a link in the description. If you mention that you got there via the Punk Rock Review, you'll get 10% off of your first order. But it's super high quality screen printing, embroidery. They do shirts, hats, hoodies, skateboards, bags, whatever you want printed, they can handle it, all right? They're also a small business, and they're part of the punk rock community. They're my friends. So this is a partnership that's very important to me. If you need merch, hit these dudes up. Check them out. You won't be disappointed, all right? Back to the video. Before Dawn just dropped. We just got them in. We only have about 80 copies left right now. They each come with an insert and a pressing card. They're all hand numbered by my wife. And just to show you what they look like, I've been playing it all day. Look at that beautiful, like, bone white with black splatter effect. Single-sided 12-inch EP. 5 songs. 33 RPM. Incredibly proud of that. That is Before Dawn, Shattered, with the 2 singles that are the first, I believe they're the first and last tracks on the EP. Yeah, Just for the Night is the second one. Justice was the first one. That's my favorite song on the EP, I think. I don't really know. They're all really good. But check them out. My Bandcamp's linked in the description. You can check it out there, or you can check them out on Spotify if you so desire. It features members of Clip 45, the Templars, and Madsen. Excuse me, I'm still recovering from that trip, dude. I don't know if it's jet lag or something or what, dude, but I'm just like I'm not energetic yet, but it's okay though. I'm still happy to be here, happy to be doing this with you guys. So, and then check out what came in the mail today. Sorry, this will be on next week's episode of Deep Cuts. Street Dogs, Back to the World. I believe it's a 20th anniversary press, and I got gold and splatter vinyl. I'll have those in the shop this weekend, and I'll probably put them up on the web store if anybody's interested. But it's cool that showed up after I just dropped the Mike McColgan interview. Thanks for everybody that watched it. But anyways, let's get to these 3 records. So I have 2 that I picked out because it's 2 albums that I just wanted to review anyways. Instead of making separate videos, I figured this would be a little more economic as far as using my time. Excuse me, I got like crap in my eye. And then I have one from a viewer of the channel. I always try to include at least one from a viewer of the channel. But we got Lion's Law from France. They have a new album called Evermore. It came out February 7th. I know that's about a month and a half ago, but I've been listening to it for the last few weeks. Kind of nonstop, honestly. It's, 10 songs? Is it 10 songs? I thought it was more than that. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's 15 songs, not 10. But it is 50 minutes in length, which is a little more robust than I typically enjoy on punk rock albums. So every song's a little closer to 3 minutes or a little bit more in average length, but all are very, very solid. Lion's Law shares members with Reeks and Bromure. I think the drummer was also in Comintern Sect. I could be wrong about that, but I think so. The songs on this album are very cinematic. They're very big. I think something that goes along with this album that I don't recall with their previous releases. Now, they've been around for a little while now, but these are more cinematic. They're produced a little better. There's a little bit of a pop sensibility within these songs that I wasn't expecting when I got this record. I thought it was going to be just a straightforward Oi album with a little bit of hardcore. Now, we did get a little bit of the hardcore stuff in here, but this album is fantastic. It's going to be really hard for there to be, a number of releases that are able to beat this in the top 10 albums of the year conversation for me. Especially when you're talking an album of its length. When you have something that's over half an hour, 15 songs, 50 minutes. They're all quality. The only thing that I didn't care for was the overture, which I believe is the opening to side B. I don't like intros, outros, interludes. It's just not really my jam. And it doesn't mean that you shouldn't listen to it. It doesn't mean that it's necessarily bad. I just didn't care for it much. But yeah, man, the album opens up with a song called Paris. I'm not sure exactly what they're talking about in here because I listened to it a few times, but I didn't sit down and read the lyrics with it. But it's super catchy. I don't know the hook, Paris, oh Paris, you're breaking my heart. It'll get stuck in your head for days. But the second song called Brother, far and away my favorite song on the album. Now that doesn't mean that it's just necessarily like the only good song, because every damn song on here is one that I was like interested in and put on my list of songs to play. You know what I'm saying? It's they're almost all on the Punk Rock Review Spotify playlist, which is ridiculous. I think 13 tracks made it to the playlist, and about 6 of them, it looks like, probably made it to my personal playlist. It takes a lot for me to put a song on my personal playlist because I don't want it to grow as fast as the Punk Rock Review is just songs that I think are good, or recommendations, stuff that people ask me to put on from the channel and the live streams and such. My personal playlist is much more curated than that. It's like songs that I absolutely love, so that way when I play it, I don't have to wonder every song's going to be a banger, according to my personal tastes. But yeah, man, Lion's Law, and they played at LA Punk Invasion. So I mean, dude, Waddy from Reeks is in the band. Man, it's just a great band right now. I wish I had a little more energy to get a little more excited about this because it's absolutely a wonderful album. I gave it like a 9 out of 10. Like straight up, it's fantastic. It's not quite a 10. The overture and the length of it make it a little taxing to get through. Other than that, it's about perfect though. Great guitar work, fantastic lyrical content, great production, a lot of good catchy hooks, good chanty like gang vocal stuff. There's not much to dislike about this album. You really have to be picky. It may end up getting a higher score at the end of the year for me, so just be ready for me to have a different score when it comes down to the end of the year when I'm making my lists and such. But yeah, man, go check out Lion's Law, Evermore. I think it came out on Longshot, maybe? No. What album? What label did this come out on? I can't remember. Let's see. Does it say on here anywhere on here? I don't know what label this came out on, so my apologies. Might be self-produced. Who knows? Nonetheless, fantastic record. It's on Spotify. I imagine on Bandcamp as well. Please go listen to it. It's worth your time. All right. Okay, moving on. So, I think it was about 2017 when Pat the Bunny called it quits. He just got tired of making music. He got tired of the scene. He thought it was bullshit, essentially. And then, I don't know, a few months ago, he drops a single with a new project called Friends in Real Life. So that's the next album we're going to talk about here. Okay, so it's Friends in Real Life, self-titled album. It came out February 21st, so exactly a month ago today, 2025. It is 10 songs at 32 minutes. Dude, this is an interesting album. And the first time that I heard the lead single, Buckeye, I didn't know what to think. Pat's voice has changed a little bit. I saw the video and he's, changed physically a little bit, which I think is probably for the better. Honestly, he was super, super thin and he looks healthy and happy now. But his hair's long is the most jarring change that I noticed anyways. But this album was a absolute shock to me. I think Colin from The Hates is the one that pointed it out and said, "Hey, you heard about the new Pat the Bunny?" I was like, "Stop, bro. He's not doing music anymore." And he was like, No. He absolutely is, dude. And so here's the thing. I wrote some notes. I'm going to read these notes off. Spoiler, man. I love this record. It's not perfect, but it's very interesting. It's got acoustic guitar. It's got all these little ambiances and like these little tiny additions to the music, little tiny simple short vocal melodies, little bit of keyboard added here and there. When you listen to it the first time, it sounds very raw, very stripped down, very simple, right? The more you listen to this, there's like genius in the simplicity of this album. All right, so the notes that I wrote go as such. It's a very introspective return to music from Pat the Bunny. Feels like maybe he is hitting middle age and realizing time is fleeting. Death is talked about in the album quite a bit. I wonder what's going on in his life that makes him feel these ways. Songs like Failed Careers and Buckeye talk a lot about our mortality. He says in Failed Careers, "'Cause you only live once. Well, I don't know about that, but I'll only get one shot at this one. Whatever I've done, I can't take it back, so I'll try and keep it up front." And then in Buckeye, he sings, "We're all gonna die. I've known it since I was a kid. The thing I had to learn is before that we're gonna live. I'll wake up racing the sun to catch the streetcar. Pretend the days were better before I ever set an alarm." Like I said, I can't tell if it's a midlife crisis, but he seems to be in a place where he wants to appreciate the now, do things now. It's nice to hear. He talks about death a lot in this album. I think that if you get the opportunity to spend a little time with this record, you should do it with the lyrics. You can understand what he's saying pretty well in this, so it's not, hard to just sit down and listen to it. But pay attention to what he's saying in the album. I wish I'd had time to go through and listen to this again before I did this review, because I'd like to cite more lyrics. But legitimately, 10 songs, probably 6 of them talk about just our mortality. He talks about saying a prayer at some point in this, which I kind of find surprising, but I appreciate it. He talks about losing friends. He talks about getting sick. So I would love to talk to Pat the Bunny, man. I just want to A, thank him, and B, I just want to know like more about this album. I want to hear what made him write these words and what was he dealing with. And I think he probably just was going through some things. This is my speculation. I think he was going through some things, and he just felt that need to write music again, and so he did it. And boy, he came back and knocked it out the park. There's also a song, Surf Rock Anthem. I think it's like a remix or something. It's got Cheshky in it from Codefendants. Shout out Cheshky, dude's the homie. Yeah, man. Give me 1 second, and I'll tell you what songs I thought were the best real quick. Hold on. Okay, so I finally figured out, because I couldn't remember the song titles. I had to go back and make sure I knew what I was talking about. So, okay, the 3 songs out of here that are my top 3 songs would be Retirement Plans. I think that song is pretty beautiful, honestly. May all the lower realms be empty. And then, of course, Buckeye, I think, is my favorite song on here by a fair bit. I think the album is pretty fantastic. The more I listen to it, the more I like it. Like I said earlier, there's these little nuances that he adds to the music and songs that I just think give it a lot of simple intricacies, if that makes any sense at all. It's kind of like a contradiction, honestly. It's such a simple album, but it's got so much to it. And I like his like screechy, squawky vocal style. I love his vocals. I'm going to give the album an 8.5 out of 10. I think that I would like a couple of more songs, honestly, because it's been so long. And there's a couple of things on here that I don't really care for a super bunch, I guess. But overall, it's pretty great. I think it might end up on my top 10 list if it doesn't end up even in like the top 5. I really think this is a great record. I like the addition of Cheshky. I think it'd be cool if he had a couple other people on here too, but I think it's cool that he's on here. They have a really good, strange, like, it doesn't sound like it should work, but it does, if that makes any sense. But Friends in Real Life, self-titled album from this year, I think is about as good as you're going to get and better than I could have hoped for from a return of Pat the Bunny. So, I don't know. I'd love to hear what you think about this record. Anybody out there that's a fan of him and his past projects, he's kind of like a legend in folk punk, So, Hey, Jojo. Jojo the dog's here to say hi. He's got allergies right now, so he's not feeling very good. You want to go out there, buddy? There's my boy. That's a good dog. That's a good dog. All right, the third and final record from this episode of Deep Cuts is going to be the debut full length of The Forgotten. Veni Vidi, I think it's Veni Vidi Vici, is that how you say it? Anyways, this was requested by Jonathan138. He's a longtime viewer and supporter of the channel, so thank you for your recommendation, bro. I know you probably wanted a longer video on this album, but the way that I pick the records for the long form podcast is pretty specific. So I wanted to talk about it anyways because I like this album, I like this band a lot, and I like you. So thank you for supporting the channel. I appreciate it. This is the debut album for the Forgotten, like I said a minute ago. Came out in Christmas time, 1998. This is from California. Okay, so it was 12 songs, 34 minutes on TKO Records, produced by Lars Fredriksson. This album, oh dude, first off, the cover art on it is A, it's very 90s, early 2000s. B, it is awesome. I love this cover art. This is the kind of record that if I was in a record store, I would have just bought it based on the cover art. And if I'd have seen it was produced by Lars, I'd have bought a second copy of it. I think this one has Fists Up, which is their biggest song that they did as a band. Yeah, man, 12 songs, very, very, very Clash inspired. This album is fantastic. I don't know what to say about it other than I hadn't listened to it in ages, and so I went through and played it, and there wasn't a song that really stuck out to me as like the best, but there were like 7 songs that popped out to me. Like basically the whole record is really, really good. I only listened to it the one time again because this is more like I just wanted to point it out and put a spotlight on it so that I could, I don't know, celebrate this record. It's a good album. So, like I said, it came out in 98, 12 songs, 34 minutes, great punk rock inspired by The Clash. I think I might actually do another listen through and take some notes and bring up the notes on this album in the Shop Talk video that comes out, I guess, the day after you'll see this tomorrow. Just because I would like to write some notes on it and give you guys a couple of songs that I appreciate. Maybe write down notes on the ones that I think are more Clash inspired. But I will say this, listening to it for just to talk about it for a few minutes, I'm going to go buy a copy. Actually, I might do that here in just a minute. I want a copy on CD if I can get it, though. I'm listening to a lot of CDs these days. But yeah, man, produced by Lars Fredriksson. Yeah, I don't know. There's not a whole lot to talk about. It's a great album. It's very Clash inspired, very 1977 street punk rock and roll. A lot of guitar leads, great production, great vocals. The vocals, man, the vocals on this album are very Clash inspired. That's where I heard the most Clash out of all of it. It sounds like if the Swingin' Utters and the Clash kind of bumped heads and then high-fived Lars Fredriksson and the Bastards on the way out the door, you know? Fantastic album. I think that's what I will do. I think I'll just go ahead and call it here and say that I gave this one a 9.5 out of 10. It may be a 10 out of 10. It's about as good as a street punk record, 77 style street punk record can get, especially a modern one. And this isn't really modern anymore, being almost 30 years old at this point, I guess, but it's a really, really good record. I think it's kind of a forgotten gem. I'm glad that Jonathan brought it up to me for me to talk about a little bit, but I'll have 3 of my top songs in a little more extensive rundown on the record, or at least a little more to say about it on the next episode of Shop Talk. So stay tuned for that. But yeah, man, this week's Deep Cuts is a little lackluster. I'm sorry. I'm very low energy right now. I'm still really tired. But Lion's Law, Evermore, Friends in Real Life, self-titled, and The Forgotten, Veni Vidi Vici. I can barely say that. I don't know why I have trouble saying it so much. All 3 records are really, really good. All 3 records are very different. You got Lion's Law, which is an Oi record. You got Folk Punk from Friends in Real Life. And then you have this 77 inspired street punk, street rock record from The Forgotten. So I don't know, man. You really can't cover your bases better than that. Maybe put a reggae rocksteady album in here somewhere. So yeah, man, check out Street Dogs Back to the World. Go check out my boys in Before Dawn and their first release, the Shattered EP, or first physical release, anyways. But yeah, I think they had a couple of demo songs or a couple of tracks on like a digital release before this. But all great stuff, man. There's a lot of good music coming out right now. There's a lot of stuff to enjoy right now. So yeah. Oh, my little dude's crashed out on my chair. Oh, no wonder he's being so quiet. Anyways, I gotta get out of here and edit this jank because it's almost 2 a.m. I'm so tired. But I love doing this, man. Thank you for hanging out with me. I appreciate your time. I'll be a little more energetic and a little more mindful of what I'm saying in the next episode of Deep Cuts. If you have any recommendations, you got something you want me to hear, please let me know in the comments, okay? Like the video, subscribe to the channel. Let's go. Thank you, guys. See you next time. Peace.